So one of the big reasons I chose Indian Creek is because there's some pretty amazing climbs that are super famous there. One of those is Scarface. It's a hand crack that just slashes this buttress. And in the background you have the Six Shooters, which are a really famous rock formation, and the sun sets right behind them. So you have the rock climb and this iconic background and possibility of amazing light at sunset. So Scarface is also, it's relatively close to the road, which we weren't too worried about how far away from the road it was, but you have to hike up like 300 or 400 foot, fairly steep slope to get to the base of the route. It took a bit of timing to figure out how to position the light. We had a light stand on my Elinchrom ELB 1200, and the flash head was extended out over the climb, so we got the light away from the cliff. That's the biggest technical challenge, blending that lighting so that you have good light on the subject and an interesting shadow, which is critical to that image as well to make it work. And technically, we were using what's called high sync lighting from Elinchrom, and that is allowing us to shoot at shutter speeds far above normal sync speeds on any cameras. And we have a Fujifilm trigger that goes on the GFX 100 that allows us to sync at any shutter speed we want, which allows us to darken the background and really match the lighting up on the climber and the fading sun. Once I have the pictures in the laptop, I import them into Lightroom, which is my editing platform of choice these days. And I just start at the top. It's all about massaging tones in the basic panel. And I'm usually pulling down the highlight slider and opening up the shadow slider to give it a more dynamic range. And then I'm setting my levels approximately with the whites and black slider, adjusting the saturation maybe a little bit. For this shot in particular, I might warm up part of the image. Since it's a very warm background back there at sunset, I'll warm up the light on the white balance on the climb itself that I'm putting on there by drawing a graduated filter and then applying a white balance shift. In terms of fine tuning, I did add a vignette. I also added a little bit of clarity. My intention with the editing is just to create an image in the end that get the viewer to feel what it's like to be that athlete and this incredible location at the right time of day with our lighting. In the end, it's all about showing them my sport, showing them my world, and giving them a window into the world of rock climbing and all the facets that come along with it.